another episode of Worst Collection Ever. This is the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence, and it just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
And I'm Shawn.
And we're back.
We're back for another week.
Here in the
comic
Upside
books.
Down. Come here, sweet. Get off. Hi. We have a cat on the book. He wants to participate.
I was about to literally pick that up.
Nope. Can't do it now.
And talk about.
Hope you guys didn't want a podcast.
Yeah, hope you guys didn't
Now
want
it's
this
just going to be
podcast.
us talking to a cat.
He's like, Shawn, Jen, you guys have to banter. This is how it's going to go for a little bit.
Welcome to Cat Watch.
Cat sit.
Oh, all right. He's gone now.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the exciting thing, we have some correspondence.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. We have
we'll
actually,
read it later.
A number of correspondence from some new folks too that we haven't heard from, which we always, I'm always glad to hear from new and old listeners, and and if again, you're new to the show or old to the show and you want to
old to the show.
Yeah. How come people don't say that? If you're old to the show,
because it makes people feel old. Hello, ancient people who've been with us since the beginning. Let's not talk about how old we actually are.
Yeah, it's almost 2020. All right, just deal with it. Yeah, it's almost 2020. We don't have flying cars yet.
Right? What the hell's that about?
Yeah,
but we have comic books.
we do have comic books,
and that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good.
Right?
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
I feel like we should banter because now we do promos.
Oh, that's right.
So now we have to kind of, shuffle along for a couple of minutes before we take a break. We play a promo. We get into our book.
Oh man!
And then we have course. If we ever get correspondence, if we continue to get correspondence, we'll break that up.
Sure.
So, because I like structure. I like what we're doing here.
Okay, I'm glad. I'm glad you enjoy the structure of what we're doing. We did go to the Bug yesterday again.
Well, you had to buy your sexy.
I had to buy my sexy comic. Because guys, I don't know if you know this, but Catwoman and Batman totally fucked in the last 2 issues of Batman, which I have to buy.
For the last 2 issues, entirely.
It's just nothing but them fucking. It happened over the course of 2 issues.
Every page is just a splash panel of penetration.
Yeah, it was hardcore. Dude, it was like watching Pornhub shit. It was like, whoa, this is like close-up penetration.
What if that was something they did? DC's just you know what? Just fuck it. Here's a book of in, out, finish.
I feel like that Simpsons where Marge was like, Fox turned into a hardcore porn channel so quickly, I didn't even notice. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, of course, me, I'm like, well, I have to own this now, and I have to own it in all forms forever. So that's what I did. We went there. We actually found some dollar books, too, because they had a pretty good selection.
Yeah, one of which we're going to read today.
And one of which we're going to read today, which is really exciting.
We were just I need something. See, here's the thing. So I ran out.
Different.
Well, I ran out of bags, and I needed an extra box. So I needed, and I haven't had a chance to go through and actually be and I need to actually do this, go through and read. Go through I have an app. I use Sorted Apps, sortitapps.com. I'm not advertising them, but I use that to sort out my collection, and I try to figure out what it is that we read and what it was didn't read and what's good for the show, stuff just by for purposes and all that. And I just what we need, what I would like to cover, what Jen would like to cover. So I need to kind of do that and just figure that out. So. So it's been, I had to handle that. That was some shopping I did.
Yeah.
And very exciting. I got myself my mini Nintendo.
Yes, you did. Finally. Not months, but I mean,
here's the thing.
It's been a while. You've been looking online to try to find this fucking Nintendo nightmare. And then you bring it home and it's the smallest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, what?
And I'm going to say this, a little bit overrated.
You spent all that time trying to find this fucking thing, and now it's overrated. But in fairness, that controller is the cord is so short that I had to sit on the floor like a child
That's what they want you to do.
I guess.
They want giant humans to be sitting on floors like childs.
I am a
like,
grown woman, and I am sitting on the floor like I did when I was a kid.
My body is not meant to be sitting like that anymore.
No. So, like, I'm sitting on the floor, and I'm trying to play it, and the control is so small compared to my monster mitt hands. I'm like, I am huge, man, blah, blah. And I'm like, what the fuck? And, then I just died horribly at Mario.
Yeah, no.
Which is a game I used to be able to beat in one fucking life.
Yeah, no.
But no, I died, like, constantly.
You were eating it hard.
I was so just sucking all the
that
dicks.
And Mario
it was
2,
awful.
You were eating it.
I didn't play Mario 2.
Mario 3.
Yeah, no, Mario 3 was the one I was just sucking all the dicks on. It was just awful. And I used to be really good at that game. But now the controller's all like small and I'm all big. And it was really disappointing.
This looks like I put that thing in my hand. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with my body?
I know. I'm too big for this game.
When did I become Giant Andre the Giant?
So yeah, and I was trying to do it and my fingers are so fat and then I couldn't remember it was really upsetting.
It was really upsetting.
It was upsetting.
However, I did order our extension.
Oh, well, that's good.
I did order an extra controller. I'm hoping it works because reading Amazon reviews for anything is like somebody's like, most people are like, hey, this works pretty good. And some people are like, it broke in my asshole or something. Like,
you're like, why'd you put it in your asshole?
But I tried to play it. I couldn't play it in the 1- star. Yeah.
That's the thing. You always have to look at those reviews and try to take them with a grain of salt. Because, like, even with Yelp, because it's like a lot of times it'll just be like reasonable reviews. Like, I gave this 3 stars because of whatever. You're like, oh, that's cool. And then it's like one guy who was like, I went there and the carpet was brown and it really made me upset and no stars, negative. And you're like, well, calm down.
No, you can
spot those people.
You can really,
you're like, you're unreasonable and crazy, so I won't listen to you.
So, but I got the Mini Nintendo, and I'm already bored with it.
Oh.
And I'm playing Simon's Quest, so
okay.
I'm gonna fuck with that, and I'm gonna mess with a few other games on there, and just have fun with it, and see, just have fun, with it. And I was gonna say, like, I still feel like I need a retro game fix of some sort,
like
an actual like. One of those like retro bits, like the one thing that I was gonna buy. And
why don't we go to more like arcade bar things?
Because we don't. I don't know. We don't.
Well, we could.
We should.
I mean, maybe that would help. I don't know if you really need to buy a Retron and then get all those games and then all that.
Well, I don't know. I just have this hankering for it. Also, I have my buddy Joe is a game collector.
Could you go to Joe's and play some fun games?
But he lives very far away.
He
that.
comes over here.
Well, maybe. You know what? I shouldn't be so hard on Joe's location.
Yeah, he lives far away, but yeah, he comes all the hell way down here to see us.
But he's doing business.
You guys could also do business. I don't know. Make up a business.
Maybe I'll have to work something out, because maybe if I can go over there and tape our other podcast, which I am working on with him,
right,
about wrestling magazines, maybe I can go there and play some Nintendos.
Exactly.
And see how that goes.
Yeah, see?
So, well, that being said,
we have comic books to talk about.
We have a comic book to talk about. So let's take a break, and we will be back with our book for the week.
Hi, I'm Nicholas Prom, the host of Comic Reflections, a podcast devoted to Silver and Bronze Age comics. Join me and my spunky sidekicks, Jeff Barnhart, the crusty curmudgeon from Dogpatch USA, and Spencer Valadez, podcasting's very own Apache Chief, as we discuss the grooviest comic books of yesteryear. You'll find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and at comicreflections.wordpress.com. What are you waiting for? Tune in, turn on, and kick ass.
Okay, we're back here on Worst Collection Ever, and we are with our book for this week. It is Justice League Task Force.
Oh, shit.
Number 18 from December 1994. And we are... what do you know about Justice League Task Force?
Nothing.
Oh, really?
Yep, absolutely nothing.
So Justice League Task Force was like...
Oh, I take that back. It was the 90s?
It was the 90s. It was a book that came out. It was like... I don't really... I mean, I've read the first issue, and basically it's like John decides to kind of lead like a team of like younger heroes to like. It's kind of like a farm league for Justice League.
Yeah.
And
He's
they
going to learn the children.
Yeah, because he was kind of doing that towards the end, anyways, of the original Justice League of America in Detroit, and now he's kind of taken on a similar role. I don't know if people just like him being a mentor, but he.
Why does John get that role? Is it just one he took?
Because he's very reasonable. He's a very very smart man, or just he comes off as being very smart and level-headed and stuff like that. So he's.
I feel people don't properly use John.
No,
Ever.
they don't. Not in terms of like his actual abilities.
John Jones.
Yeah, Martian
Because
Manhunter.
he's fucking awesome and he's really, really powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And he always gets stuck kind of in these like sideline roles where he just tells people what to do.
And he goes, I think you should do this. And then he goes, Superman goes, thanks, John, zip, zoom.
Yeah, and you're like, dude, John's probably as strong as Superman.
Yeah. He's not into fire, though.
Break him out. Yeah, well, Superman's not into magic, so, everybody's got their weakness.
Mm-hmm.
So break him out every once in a while. But he's just like, man, I'll just stand here and, like, hang out.
And he always, he's always got, he's got, a lot of great moments. And
he does, I know.
media
I'm
and
just
stuff
saying,
like that,
I want more John.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, big fan of John here. But he is the leader of the Justice League Task Force, and basically he gets a bunch of young heroes together to start a team and to take on kind of like covert, smaller things that the Justice League normally wouldn't take on.
They're too busy.
They're too busy.
Important.
They're too important dealing with space shit and whatever.
Whatever. Batman's personal life.
Well, Batman's not. I don't think at this time when this was created, like Batman. Was he?
I just like the idea that if Batman has a personal problem, he like breaks out the Justice League to help him solve it.
Yeah.
Because he's just a baby.
Yeah.
An overdramatic child.
Well, I'm gonna have to read the first one again because I kind of want to get. I mean, I could probably look it up, but I don't want to look it up right now. But
do you have a lot of these?
I have the first one on digital. And I don't have any more of these. I had a few of these when I was a kid. Because it was one of those things when I first started reading comics, it was like all the Zero issues, and they put out a bunch of this, and and this is after 0 Hour, so this is pretty much the team that kind of took them towards the end of the run of the series, because this didn't last, but it lasted
Shocking.
It lasted like another year.
Shock.
But it's one of those things where, because at this time you said Justice League Task Force, you had Extreme Justice, which we've done.
Yes, we have talked about Extreme Justice.
And then we had what else do we have? Oh, we have Justice League America. Mm-hmm. So this is pretty much what you had in the 90s, and you had Justice League Europe too, and then they were international, and then they mixed it all together, and but Justice League Task Force is basically John as the leader. You got the Ray.
We've talked about him.
We've done the Ray. We have Gypsy.
Yes. From
the Justice League Detroit era. Mm-hmm. We have Triumph.
Yes.
The enigmatic Triumph hero.
Sure.
And then we have Despero. Despero.
But he's not Despero.
But he's not. Yeah, this actually is funny because this is the first thing.
It's his body, but there's like a something else, like an android.
Aileron robot.
Yeah, so it's like living inside of him.
Yeah, he's somehow taken over Despero's body. His conscious is in his body.
Yeah.
And because that's the thing I never quite understood, like why Despero turned face.
Yeah.
Basically in the 90s, because, he all of a sudden, like, I always thought he was his villain. And then, I mean, now it's different because I think he's back to being a villain. But, right up until, like, for the majority of the 80s and for his existence, he's been a villain. And then, he shows up in the 90s and he's got, he looks like he's all decked out with weapons and he's extreme.
Well, everybody was decked out with weapons in the 90s.
He looks like basically a Cable, but with a purple fin.
Yeah, pretty much.
A purple Cable with a fin. And a lot of times I have that action figure of him too. Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Vandal Savage is also in this.
Well, Vandal Savage is
but
in
this
too,
know,
but
he's not really part.
No, he's not part of the team.
They're hanging out with him.
Well, they're helping him out.
Yeah. So
on the cover it says Justice League Task Force blown away, and we see a big explosion happening, and it looks like the Ray is becoming.
Who looks terrible, by the way.
What, in this picture?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because he's being...
No. Even in the next picture, it's just he looks like
Oh, this isn't the same picture. This is...
No, I know it's not. He looks like that guy, and I feel like it was.
He looks like the guy. It looks like the old man from the Poltergeist movies.
Kind of, but he also looks like there was a guy, and I'm probably gonna get this wrong. I feel like it was an old
Fire Marshal Bill.
No, it was like an old Garth Ennis book.
Arseface?
No.
Hitman?
No.
Resurrection Man?
Nope.
Man? Oh, God. Man. I laughed at my own joke.
I'll think of it. Continue on.
Well, anyway, so the story, it's blown away, and the Ray is being, basically looking like he's being cooked alive.
Yep.
You know, and he's all in black and white and being, he's just being, blasted with lots of energy fire. And there's somebody exploding. And that's pretty much what's happening here. So the story of the book is the Savage Legacy Part 2. So we're stuck in the middle of the Savage Legacy Part 2, The Frog and the Scorpion, which I knew exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah, me too.
When I read that, because I was like, well, the frog.
This is a very old, parable.
Yeah, the old parable of the frog and the scorpion, basically, and we'll. It gets explained later. But basically, the scorpion and the frog are waiting by a river, and the frog's like, well, I can go across the river, and the scorpion's like, let me ride on your back, and the scorpion, and then the frog's like, no, you'll sting me and I'll die.
Yeah, and he's like, no, but then we'll both die. And he's like, good point.
He's like, good point. Anyways, I'll help you out. And so the frog helps him, and then halfway through, the scorpion stings him, and then they're gonna die. And he's like, why'd you do that? And he's like, well, it is my nature, because I am a scorpion.
Yeah, that's what I do. Basically, if somebody tells you who
Don't
they
trust
are,
anybody.
believe them.
Yeah.
What's this guy's name?
Oh, you find it?
Yeah.
Oh, Metropolitan.
Transmetropolitan.
Transmetropolitan.
But I think I might be
what's
totally
his...
off.
Fuck, I know his name.
Oh, it's Warren Ellis. That's where I got it.
Yeah, I was just saying. I know.
That guy's name.
That guy has a name.
Yep, and he looks like that guy.
Okay.
That's who I was talking about.
He has like a very extreme.
Yes. I don't
like
know.
Mr. something.
Yeah, I don't know what his actual name is.
Mr. Butt.
Sure, Mr. Butt.
Anyways, so the Ray on the inside cover here.
Looks like that guy.
Yeah, he looks like this guy, and basically, he is. I don't know why he looks like this.
Yeah, so
here's the thing. He's in his lit up form, so he's got his.
Yeah, he looks really weird.
Well, that's how he just. I mean, that's how he. He's supposed to just kind of look like that when he's covered in light, but he looks like all skeletal.
He looks really skeletal. He looks like he's been burned.
Yeah.
Especially in a couple later panels, he literally looks like he's made of ash.
Yeah.
It's a weird rendering of this character.
I also
he is flying.
Also, well,
what? Go ahead.
Well, also, I mean, the thing about the Ray, and especially in this particular book, in this particular way, is the rendition. He's got that Spider-Man eye thing going on.
Yeah.
Where his mask, his eye holes, they're just white eyes.
Yeah.
Just move with his mask or his helmet, and I'm like, but your helmet's made out of metal or something. I don't know.
So he is flying, but I feel like he is taking. Does he have everybody with him in this bubble?
No, they're
Or are they already down there somewhere? This is what. So we obviously whatever happened in the last, because that's why I'm they all go flying.
Oh.
So are they with him because there's the Ray out front.
No, they're being carried by someone else.
But maybe in that bubble behind him.
Yeah, but who's I think somebody else is doing this. I don't know, maybe
so
John.
There's the Ray, and he's basically the front, and then everybody else is somehow carried in a big pink bubble behind him, and he's heading towards Savage's Crystal Palace.
Savage's Crystal Palace, which is in the middle of Ohio, by the way.
Yeah, because that's where you put
it's
that.
right by Cleveland.
Yeah, that's where you put a Crystal Palace.
He's literally by Lake Erie.
So they're.
It's funny because I'm now looking at this too. It looks just like the
purple.
The Cleveland Wharf, and the wharf. Cleveland Wharf, and then the castle's right on the water.
Yeah.
And apparently people are just eh.
Yeah, I don't know much about Cleveland. I know that it's not that far from where you grew up.
No, I've been to Cleveland.
Yeah,
Cleveland's fun. Cleveland's okay.
We drove through it once.
Yeah.
That's all I can say about Cleveland.
I've had a sandwich there.
Oh, yeah. Was it a good sandwich?
It was one of those sandwiches they put the fries on it. It's one of those things.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
like one of their calling cards. And
Yeah.
then I've been to a nightclub, and then that was it.
All right. Yeah, good time.
was Cleveland.
Was it for a concert?
No, I was booty housing.
I'm sorry. Could you define booty housing for me?
When I was in the younger days, when I had to go out with the boys.
Was it called booty housing?
Yeah.
So what do you do? Do you like build houses on top of booties?
Yeah.
Is that how you're just like hold still, ladies?
Ladies,
I've got to build birdhouses over your ass.
I got a house for you. Yeah, no, I went. Yeah, no, I was out there with visiting a friend, and then we were like, "Let's go to the club." And then you go to the club, and you're in Cleveland.
All right.
It's a lot like Buffalo, but they figured out a little bit more few things. Even though a lot of people give Cleveland, Cleveland a bad rap. I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. The Miz is from there, or the Miz is from around there. Dolph Ziggler's around there.
Yeah.
LeBron James.
Drew Carey likes it.
Drew Carey likes it. Yeah, no, it's a good place, and I bet to be honest, I bet they have some dope comic book stores.
Oh no, I'm sure they.
I
Probably
bet they. I feel like that's a place where you'd be like surprised. You'd be like, oh, this place is really cool.
Yeah.
So if you live in Cleveland, which I think one of our listeners does,
Maybe.
if you live in Cleveland, tell us if you have any good comic book stores. I'm curious.
I'm sure they must.
Yeah. Anyway, so he's doing the recon outside of here.
And they're like, hey, you have to stay on this path that Savage gave us, or you're going to trigger their weapons. And he's like, nah, I'll just go closer because I'm trying to get a good look.
Yeah, he's trying to do more recon. The Ray.
He's not listening to anybody.
Yeah, the Ray is just a dumb
He's
kid.
a jerk. So he flies obviously too close and he triggers the weapons and he gets shot at. This is where he looks like he is on like a burn victim. Mm-hmm. And he gets shot at and everybody basically explodes. So they all go flying.
Yeah, and so everybody in this bubble explodes out, but
Yeah.
I mean they're under control.
Yeah.
They're in a free fall, but they're under control, and then
This doesn't make much sense. So everybody's flying down, and they're like, "Oh my God, what the hell, Ray? You're not listening to us." And now we're under attack. And the Ray turns to, I'm assuming, the weapons, and he says, "Eat this, fanboy." What?
Is this like an inside? Is this a subtweet?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Is this the 1994 comic book equivalent of a subtweet?
This is the 1994 version of a tweet.
Well, so basically, just also the heads up, they're going so they're going to Vandal Savage's Crystal Palace. They have Vandal Savage with them.
Yes,
because Vandal Savage.
He's wearing a very nice jumpsuit.
He's dressed like a Russian mobster.
Oh yeah, or an old Italian man watering his lawn. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's gonna go have a mini little coffee.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Little espresso.
Little espresso
in the north end.
Yeah, absolutely. He looks like every one of my uncles.
So they so as he's what's his face? Ray's about to obliterate all these weapons that are attacking him. Triumph,
who has a Dick Grayson ass.
Yeah, he does. He's pretty fit.
Yeah, he grabs him.
He grabs him and they start having some
words. They're like, "You're an idiot," and he's like, "I'm not an idiot." Blah blah blah. He calls him a Nazi. Who you calling a Nazi? Whatever. So they go into the water.
He doesn't call him a Nazi.
Yes, he does.
Well,
who are you calling a Nazi?
Oh, that's right.
It says right there.
Mm.
And so they go right into the water, and I am assuming in Lake Erie.
Yeah, they're in the Lake Erie. Yeah.
But as they separate underwater, they both seem to be thinking like, oh, good job, other guy. Like some sort of like begrudging respect. That's why I didn't understand if going off course was actually planned ahead of time by these two.
No, I think they're just kind of commending each other. It's like, yeah, he's stupid, but he's
he got
brave.
the job done, bro.
Yeah,
fist bump.
That's how it was in the 90s. You gave you're like, yeah, man, that guy's cool.
We got begrudging respect. So they all, they're there at the Crystal Palace. Everybody's alive.
Everybody's alive, and they
But first, there's also not Despero, but I'm just going to call him Despero if that's okay. He's falling and Gypsy's with him, and she's like, oh my god, I don't want to touch this guy, I don't want to die with this guy, because Despero killed my parents. Even though I know that this isn't Despero, he still killed my parents and I can't let it go.
Yeah.
So he like shoots a gun in the water and they live.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, she's having like the whole thing, but that's pretty much like all she does.
That's all she does. She's having a
That's all she does in this
crisis.
entire issue. She just goes, man,
I'm so upset.
I'm really upset with this guy. Like that's like it's kind of one of these things where everybody has like a through line.
Yeah, everybody's
and her through
got
line
stuff
is just,
going on.
It's like, well, what's Gypsy going to do this issue? I don't know. She's just going to worry about Despero.
And that's exactly what she does.
And that's all she does. So just imagine anytime they're not paying attention
that's
to
what she's
Gypsy,
doing.
she is thinking about how Despero killed her parents, but it's not really Despero, and she should be okay with that.
But she's not.
But she's
and she still feels bad. And maybe she doesn't belong here.
And I mean, Gypsy.
That's all she does. She's worthless.
She is worthless.
She's completely worthless.
She is worthless. She had maybe like, she was in like what one? Did she? No, wait. Was she in Justice League the cartoon? I feel like she had like
she was drawn in it, but I don't think she ever did anything. You saw her like running through a wall or something. She was there, but she didn't actually have any lines, I don't think.
Well, there was actually, or there was a one, oh, fuck, what was the one where it was like the Justice Syndicate or something? Not the Crime Syndicate, but it was one where it was like all the villains were kind of like the Justice League Detroit.
Okay.
And she was one of them.
I don't remember.
I don't know. There was, I have to go back.
I know she was in it, but did not actually have much of a part.
Yeah, she's one of those characters who like.
She's just in the background.
She showed up in the JLA Detroit era, and then she just never really
did anything.
Does anything, so except be in this book.
Yeah.
You know, and all she does is basically she can blend in with stuff.
Yeah.
So
while Vandal Savage has taken this opportunity from the last panel that he was in to this one to change into his outfit. So he's taken off his tracksuit and he has put on He's put on he looks like he's one of the you don't remember the Visionaries? No, he kind of looks.
He was like Mordred.
He kind of looks like he's wearing that Superpowers Lex Luthor suit.
Yeah, he's wearing just a big corny suit all of a sudden.
Yeah, and it's got like
took his hair out of the top knot.
He took his hair
took
out
his
of the
man bun down.
Yeah, took out the man bun. Now it's now he's got like gold-plated boots that go up over his knees. He's got a purple like body armor suit thing, and then
he has a belt with an S on it.
And on top of it, he has a skirt,
yeah,
like kind of like a war skirt, kind of like that you'd see in like maybe like an old, maybe like a samurai-esque uniform, but only the bottom part.
I'm just imagining. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm just imagining while Despero and Gypsy are fucking around with their thing.
Yeah, he's
just in the background going.
Yeah, because you know someone's gonna help him put this stuff on. Because he's also got like
me my warrior skirt,
like gauntlets that go up over his elbows.
Especially my metal.
He's got a Melania Trump collar going on from the inauguration.
Is that what that is?
That's what that looks like. So it's just there's a lot going on, and he was just like, I guess I'll ditch the comfortable clothes for this nightmare.
Yeah, so he's been kind of like, and rightfully so. Everybody on the team is just like
fucking savage.
Yeah, you know, he's bad news.
Why are we hanging out?
Why
with
are we hanging out with him?
And
he's like, look, he came to us for help for something, and we need to get this. We need to help him out.
So come on into my cool crystal palace. And Triumph's like, oh,
come into my cool crystal palace, which just looks like a regular place on the inside.
It's just purple. And he's like, here, isn't it neat? And Triumph's like making cracks about prisoners.
Yeah.
And
Triumph's a comedian.
Yeah. So they're just like, hey, this is it. And as that happens, everybody's sort of like thinking to themselves about stuff.
No, they're not. They're just talking.
Well, isn't this where Gypsy starts like freaking out?
Oh yeah, probably the next page, but yeah, she's just.
Oh, he's like, oh my, John's like, oh, thanks for letting us stay here. Despero's talking.
Sandwiches?
Yeah, Despero's talking.
Do you have any Hydrox?
There probably is Hydrox here for John. And Despero's talking to Gypsy, even though she's like invisible, and she's like,
but since
why
it's
do you
Elrond,
see me? And he's like, well, because I'm a robot.
I'm a robot, and my eyes work differently. Even though I don't have a robot body, my eyes work differently, and I've figured out.
And he's like trying to explain, like he just wants to tell her about like what he does, and she doesn't want to hear it, so she just starts like walking away. And she's like, I can't. Oh, don't you get it? I can't be near you. Like she's really having a sad. And then the Ray's having a sad in the corner because something about his mom.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
The Ray's having some issues. Ray's having issues on his own book. Everybody's like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like the whiny Avengers.
Yeah.
Where they're all like, I have things in my own book that are weird.
He's like, this is cool, but man, you know, my mom, I have a mom, and my father never told me.
Oh, that's right. This is where
he told her I was the pizza guy? I was like, so wait, how does that work? Like, your mom comes over and you don't know her, and he's like, who's this young man? And you're like, this is my pizza guy.
No, wait. So
I just invited him.
wait, so
in.
his mom. Wait, so let me
I don't know.
Wait, hang on. So his mom didn't tell him about her dad. His dad. Is that what he's saying?
No.
Or is it the other way around?
It's the other way around. It says, Mom, my mom. I have a mom, and my father never told me. We'd have to assume you have one. He told her I was the pizza guy.
So wait, so was that like that the entire life? Like she'd be home. It's like, why does the pizza guy live upstairs?
Why does this 8-month-old infant deliver pizzas?
He came out of the womb with a pizza. He must be the pizza guy.
He's the pizza guy, honey. You just gave birth to a pizza.
I'm just imagining Homer, like when there was one of those flashbacks where Homer Simpson was in the. It was like when Homer was a baby and he's eating a pizza. And I'm just imagining that was a Ray because he was the pizza guy. He's always bringing pizza.
Maybe his dad like forced him to dress like a Domino's guy. Like his entire life, he's like always wearing a Domino's.
I wonder if he made those low rent, not low. Say low rent. It's what you make when you don't want to make a pizza. You know, you make take a piece of bread, you put some cheese on, some American cheese on it, you put some ketchup on it.
That is not a pizza.
Well, that was how it was in the Merrick house.
No.
And that was the Larry Merrick pizza special.
Well, your dad does not know how to make a pizza. That is not a pizza.
That was a pizza.
Your dad was incorrect.
My dad would be like, I'm making pizza.
Didn't you ever do like you take like the...
Oh, I didn't. I never had my first home pizza until I met you.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Could you imagine my family making pizza?
Why not? It's not that hard.
No, we either ordered out or you got the bread, the ketchup, the American cheese, and the salami.
You buy pizza sauce in a jar.
No, because we didn't. Yeah, we didn't have those luxuries.
When my mom wanted to make mini pizzas, my mom often made regular pizza, but like it was mini pizzas. Sometimes we would get like the dough, like the Pillsbury biscuit dough, and then you buy the pizza sauce in the jar, and then you sprinkle mozzarella on it, and then you toast that in a toaster.
Oh, no.
That's a mini pizza.
Bread, American cheese, ketchup, salami, oven, out, eat. That's how it went.
That's disgusting.
That
is an insult.
Ain't that
to
America?
Pizza. That is an insult.
I mean, I don't know if my dad was like going around being like, I got a pizza recipe, you know, like he was like Chef Boyardee.
No, your dad was probably like, this is easy and I don't want to cook.
Yeah, this is the thing I'm making while I'm watching Monday Night Football or wrestling with the kids.
Yeah, so maybe that's all this guy did. Maybe that's what the Ray had to do. He had to make pizzas.
Yeah.
And he had to wear a Domino's uniform, and his mom just would come in every day and be like, why does the pizza guy hang out with us?
Why does the pizza guy hang out? It's like, I only bought clothes from, I only went to, so he went to Goodwill and only bought clothes from Domino's.
In all sizes.
All sizes. They have
from infant on up.
He wore that every day, and the mother was just like, pizza!
Why did the pizza guy not bring pizza?
Is his mom Fred Armisen's lady character from
which lady character?
You know what I'm talking
yes,
about.
I know. The one who's when Carrie is the man.
Yeah, Carrie's the man,
yeah,
and she's
yeah.
got the mustache and stuff like.
No, I think his mom is Drew Barrymore from 50 First Dates, and she has amnesia, and every single day she just relives the same day, which is why she doesn't understand that the pizza guy comes over every day.
I want to. Now I kind of want to go back and read the Ray. I want to see that moment where she's like, I thought he was the pizza guy, and he's literally holding a pizza, and it's like, I have a pizza, but you're also your son.
Does she never question why they eat pizza every day?
I'm really trying to keep a secret from your mother.
We're just gonna eat so much pizza. I'm
really trying to keep a secret from.
I don't want your mom to know that she had you.
Well, he didn't know that was his mom.
Yeah, I know, but
he was just like when he grew up. He grew up as a tenant in a house.
Right. Here's the thing, though. When you're a dude, it's much easier not to know that you have a child. When you're a woman, it's a little bit more difficult to be like, I didn't know I had a kid.
Well, maybe
But I literally shot out of my vagina.
But maybe, well, I mean, the idea, what's probably being explained
I'm
here.
sure she gave him up. I know. But.
She gave him up, but then he came over one day, and then the Ray's father, who's also a
pizza man.
A superhero?
Pizza man?
No, it's Ray Terrell. Wait, Happy Terrell? I should.
Everyone delivers pizza. Just go with pizza.
Oh, in the DC universe, it's the DC Pizza universe? Does Batman deliver pizzas on his spare time?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why the turtles are hanging out with him right now.
Oh, yeah. Hey, man.
Maybe that's the only reason
What do you think Batman has on a pizza? You know, why didn't we get to see that on Gotham? I would have had that answered.
Right?
Stupid TV.
Batman does not eat pizza. I'm assuming probably because it, like, fucks with his very, very careful diet.
Oh, yeah, that grease will probably go right through him. He's going to shit his pants.
Right? He doesn't want to shit that suit. Do you know how hard it is to get shit out of a suit? Like an armored suit? Must be very difficult. And Alfred, he doesn't want to make Alfred clean it up.
Does he come back? Does he come back and be like, Alfred, I shit my suit? Well, you know what he
and
does?
Alfred goes, again, Master
No,
Wayne.
you know who takes care of that is that guy he had living in his place. Remember
you
that
mean
guy?
the blind guy who he had captive?
Yeah, the blind guy.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't talk about
His
that.
slave?
Nobody talks about that, guys. Nobody talks about what the fuck is his name?
I don't know, but we talked about him before.
We have, but yeah, that guy, I forgot his name. But yeah, Batman had a guy living in the Batcave
For years.
that was
Blind.
blind and fixing the Batmobile.
And he never went outside. He never left.
And everyone outside, and he was cleaning out
He's like, he'll never...
pizza sharts in the suit.
Pizza shards.
Anyways,
So the Ray's pizza guy.
so the razor pizza.
So
guy.
as he's thinking about him being a pizza man, for some reason, Triumph just falls over the railing. He's like leaning up against a railing like in a mall, you know, he's on like the third floor of a mall waiting for his, you know.
Are they in a mall?
I'm assuming so. It looks
Are
like
they
a
by
mall.
Spencer Gifts?
Yeah, he's
Because there's a fountain and everything. I think
Yeah.
there's a fountain. There's pennies in there.
Yeah, this is Lady Mall Part 2.
Oh, Lady Mall.
So
Did he
Triumph...
fall over to Lady Mall?
Yes.
Holy
he's
shit.
standing outside of the casino.
I do like Lady Mall Part 2. I am now I'm on board.
He's standing outside like Cacique or whatever, like waiting for his girlfriend to come out with the ugliest of bandage dresses, and he just like leans too far over and he just flops right over the side.
Maybe he just wanted to get to Godiva chocolates real quicker, and he's just like, you know what? I see it. I'm just gonna fall.
He's like, it's much easier to go this way. I don't want to go down the escalator.
He falls over like he's fucking what's
like
his?
he's so.
He falls over like I'm trying to think, like basically. I'm trying to think like he's just somebody like he's fucking Kramer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Like he's
yeah. He fucking Kramers this shit, and he just falls right over the thing.
Well, anyways, he falls over the thing, and they're like, as they're arguing.
Yeah. Everyone's like, "What the hell? He just fell over." And they're like, "Well, he can fly," and they're like, "Well, no, because Vandal Savage has some sort of suppressing thing."
Well, it's funny because he falls,
And
and
then they all start talking about it. They're just like standing
the Ray makes fun of him.
Yeah,
The
well-
Ray's like, nice going, what a maroon.
Well, fair enough.
Throw a pizza.
Save him with your pizza, Ray. Because they're like, well, Triumph can fly.
Triumph can fly. He's like, well, Triumph can fly, and he's like, well, and Desperado's like, well, no, the charged particles Savage uses to protect the palace could be screening out the electromagnetic fields, which triumphs, and he's like, oh shit, I better go save him.
Yeah, well, luckily they're on like the 8 millionth floor because he's still falling.
Because apparently this thing is, I mean, even
It's
though you
huge.
get to see from the outside, apparently it's this gigantic, I mean, it goes really deep.
Yeah, so the Ray jumps after him. He's like, I gotta catch Triumph. And Triumph is just like, fly. He's not even screaming. He's just like falling.
He's like, I just have to
He's
get.
like, Godiva!
Yeah, he's like, I really need to get Dick's Sporting Goods. I need to get a lacrosse
You guys are
stick.
having a sale until noon.
Lacrosse stick! I have to. Manchu Walk is giving out all their orange chicken.
Yeah, and if I don't get down there, there's not going to be any left. So he's just going for it. So So
I'm gonna be late for my screening of Love Actually at the multiplex, and they have the reserved seating. So and they're gonna close the door, and I'm not gonna be able to hear.
they're not gonna let me in.
Not gonna be able to see Andrew Lincoln express love
No, via sign.
via sign.
So he's falling down, and then Despero and Gypsy are like watching him fall. And of course, Despero's like, I can use my eye to zoom in and watch it. And she's just like, and she gives him like a winky side eye kind of. And she just like storms off to go find the bathroom.
Yep.
So as all that's going on, Savage is giving John a tour.
Yeah, he's giving it a tour.
And he's like, hey, this is my nerve center. These are the people who work for me. For some reason, the people who work for him, one of them is a woman in a small dress who's standing on her desk for no reason. And then there's like a guy who's just like eating a candy bar, and he has a sticker that says like, you've
obviously mistaken me for somebody that gives a damn, because apparently this office is like, it's like a Dilbert cartoon.
Yeah, Savage is in charge of a Dilbert cartoon, basically.
I think he literally is, because he's got a woman that looks like Rebel Wilson there.
Yeah, and everyone's just like,
it's like Horrible Bosses,
Yeah.
or like
Office Space.
Insert
Office.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I think this is a Drew Carey crossover, because I think that's Mimi.
Oh, that's right, because this is Cleveland.
And Mimi once played a villain or a character on Lois and Clark. Drew Carey played the Toy Man on Lois and Clark. And Mimi had a role.
She play?
Something. I remember her being on there, because I
used to watch that show.
Because I remember watching it and being like, I think it was like,
show's a
Mimi looks
disaster.
Mimi looks different, because she's like, yeah, because she's an actress and she's not wearing all of her makeup.
Yeah, she's not wearing blue eyeshadow up to her goddamn hairline.
Yeah. So anyway, they're basically
Which is very drag, by the way.
Oh yeah. So all they do here, there's a lot of drag in that show, actually.
Yeah.
Because Drew's brother was also in drag all the time.
Oh yeah. Oh. It's hard for me to remember that show because I didn't watch that.
I used to love that show.
Really?
Well, Diedrich Bader and Ryan Stiles are fantastic.
Oh, that's true. Ryan Stiles.
There's a lot. That was a funny show for like a good couple seasons, and then it just it got kind of heavy in some part. It did.
It started doing very special episodes.
No, they did.
About
But it was more about like relationships and.
Did anybody think their child was a pizza boy?
Maybe. I know.
Didn't he start dating that girl, and then it just like went off the rails?
That's the thing. He started dating one of his best friends, because all of his female counterparts left the show. Like in real life, like Felicity Huffman was on that show, and she left that show. They did this whole thing where she gained a lot of weight, and they put her in a fat suit. Do you remember this?
No.
Oh yeah. So she gained a lot of weight on the show, and she was in a fat suit. And her and Drew got married, and then on her wedding night, she went, "I'm disgusting," and then she divorced him.
What?
Or she just split with him, and then that was it for her on the show.
Drew Carey also fat.
No, he didn't shame her. She just went, "Oh, look at me," and then she just left the show because it was. She did, and then she went to Sports Night because it did Sports Night. She was on Sports Night. I'm not kidding. That's how I remember this.
So did they like never have sex before?
No, they had sex before, but then like
all of a sudden she was just like, oh wait,
no, because what they were doing.
I'm now a married fat woman. It was better when I was a single fat woman.
No, because what happened? Okay, so whatever.
Oh, how different my life was.
No, what I remember is that she. So they got married or whatever, and then they went on their honeymoon, and they were going to tape themselves having sex. And it was Drew. The scene was, the way it was is like Drew was watching this video of that they were gonna them about to have sex, and she's like, oh, you're so beautiful, and she's like, I'm disgusting, and then that was it for her.
And I can't be with you anymore.
Yeah, she couldn't be with Drew Carey anymore. I'm not kidding. That's how I remember this.
Okay.
You're looking at me very dubiously.
I know, it just doesn't make any sense
I know it
to me.
doesn't.
Obviously, you've got to write her out, but you could have chosen like a better way to write her out. It doesn't even make any sense. If you're a fat woman, I speak from experience, you don't just all of a sudden notice you're fat one day. You know you're fat.
No, yeah, that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. She just all of a sudden just left the show.
Holy shit, I'm fat. Oh my God, I have to run from my fatness that will always be with me.
And then she went to...
You can't get away from it.
And then she went on Sports Night, which was the Aaron Sorkin show that was, whatever. And that was on right after Drew Carey.
She'd be like, "Oh my God, she lost so much weight. She lost so much weight,
and then she changed her name. She just got so fed up and lost all this weight and changed her name, changed her identity, but still looked like Felicity Huffman. And then she, became a sportscaster or a producer, whatever. Yeah,
hilarious
TV. Anyways, what was the other thing? Also, there's something else on that show. Triple H was on that show once too.
Did he wear a fat suit?
Oh God, I wish. I wish he should. It was him. Yeah, it was him in China, and he played a wrestler known as the Valedictorian.
Okay.
And he was cutting a promo. It was like a bit part. But yeah, no, oh God. Triple H does movies. I think he can wear a fat suit.
Sure.
I can wear a fat suit, Mark. Anyway.
All right,
so he's got this team, and he's there. I don't know what they're doing. Are they just like...
I don't even... Like, what is she doing? Like, this woman's
that's all that you just see. Like, you don't see anybody particularly talking.
That's the thing. You just see, like, speech bubbles, I guess, to be like, oh, you just sort of hear, like, a din of people talking, and you don't know who it is. But everybody else is sitting at their desks, or there's one guy, like, just walking down... the little aisle, which makes sense. But then there's one woman just standing on top of her desk.
She realized she works in Cleveland in a Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
And she's got nothing to do. No offense to Cleveland, but she's just having a breakdown.
I think that's what's going on. So then all these people approach Vandal Savage and they're like signing all this stuff. And he's like, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, whatever. And then they
Does he have good benefits?
I'm hoping, because then they come across my favorite guy.
Oh, this guy. Sandwich mouth guy.
Who is... They tried to make him look like a cool 90s hacker dude who rides a skateboard, but also is smart because he's like wearing an MIT shirt.
He's also kind of grody.
A members preferred jacket on, or members only jacket, and he's wearing like a red baseball cap backwards, but his hair's like going through.
Yeah.
Like, that part, and he's got a sandwich shoved in his face. I'm assuming that's a sandwich.
It looks like a sandwich, or it could be like a lotto ticket. It looks like the way that it's kind of
white.
It's white, and it's kind of like bent in a certain way where it looks like sandwiches don't bend that way.
Yeah, because he's still in his mouth here, and I'm not sure.
It looks like Ted DiBiase shoved $100 bill in his mouth, or a lotto ticket in his mouth.
So he's got that shoved in his mouth, and so Savage comes up to him, and he's like, "Oh, you're gonna want to see this. This is what we just recorded on the surveillance tape." And John goes, "You record from surveillance cameras?" And Savage is like, "Yeah." And everybody else is like, "Yeah, because that's what surveillance cameras are." Because
you're supposed to?
For.
You don't think that the satellite has surveillance of the Flash?
They're worthless if you don't record them.
Running around, picking his nose or whatever?
Yeah, it's just police officers are like, "Man, I wish we could have gotten that, but nobody records this surveillance footage.
They're just for show."
We just can look at what's going on now.
So they have this footage of basically, which apparently this isn't happening now.
Yeah, I guess they recorded it.
They recorded it, but so they're recording the Ray and Triumph falling.
Yeah,
or Triumph falling and Ray going after him.
And it looks like he saves him on some sort of couch construct.
Well, the Ray can make light constructs, sort of like the Green Lantern does.
Yeah, so he saves him on a thing, and the Ray's and Triumph for some reason's like, "You're an idiot," and I'm like, "You are gonna die." But
so then he lets him go again.
Yeah, so then he lets him go again, but then he starts flying, even though he was in a free fall.
No, something
happened, and then they see.
Yeah, now he starts flying really good.
And now he's flying, even though he was literally just free falling, ready to die for Godiva.
So they fall. They fall down the hole. They go into a tunnel.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh man, it's a tunnel. Let's check it out."
Access hatch or whatever.
Let's go see what's going on. So they're just flying down it, and then Vandal Savage gets all pissy.
Yeah, he's like, "They shouldn't go there.
They shouldn't be in my access tunnel."
Yeah.
By the way, let's stop all this action to give you my origin.
Yeah, so we get Vandal Savage's origin. Basically, long story short, he was a caveman, got hit by a meteor rays that came down, and now he lives forever. The end.
Yeah.
And he's evil.
He's constantly alive.
Constantly alive.
Congratulations.
Good job. So basically, what he's been doing is people always trying to get at him. Because he's Vandal Savage.
Constantly alive.
He's constantly alive.
And he can't be killed.
But he also reveals that he has a list of descendants.
Because he's been fucking.
Because he's been alive for thousands of years.
Yeah, well, I mean, you would assume you would continue to fuck if you've been alive.
Yeah, and if you looked like he did, and if your last name was Savage,
dude's ripped to shit.
If your last name was Savage and you can pull it down, he's pulling it down, and he's.
Sure.
I mean, I'm assuming he's paying for all this.
He's got an evil goatee.
He's fathering pizza boys across the world.
What if all pizza boys were related to Vandal Savage? What if that's how
Savage Pizza?
What if that's how pizza delivery started? It was just like, I have all this surplus children. I guess I should invent something for them to do.
Hey Dad, can I have a job? Here, take this delicious pie. Take this round dough and sauce with cheese on it
to somebody.
Here, just take it. Take it.
Go give it to somebody.
Go over there.
If they'll give you money, great.
Go over there.
That's how pizza
we'll start this in Italy, and then we'll just start going all. We'll branch off into everything. We'll go to Germany. And then eventually we'll take a boat. We'll go to New York.
Yeah. Yeah,
we'll start passing out pizzas, passing out these things over there.
Yeah, and eventually we'll set it up so people call us and we'll come and drop off.
Yeah, but as long as you live, though, because here's the kicker: is that he's keeping these kids, these people around. He wants to make sure these people are safe,
right? Because
he needs their organs
to replace his.
Yes,
but that doesn't make any sense.
But he's still if things get worn out, but
they shouldn't get worn out. If you are constantly alive and literally nothing will kill you.
No, but nothing will kill him. But he
shouldn't have to replace an organ.
But he can still be injured. That's the thing. He can still live. He still lives forever. But he can have a leg hacked off, or he can tear his ACL, or
wouldn't it just heal? Wouldn't he have Wolverine?
I don't think he has. I don't know.
Because if not, that's worthless.
Look, people out there, if you know about his body, let me know. But Vandal Savage,
you have intimate knowledge of Vandal Savage's body. Will you let us know?
Yeah, if you want to explain that to us, that'd be great. I just think because basically
it just doesn't make sense.
But he explains. He's like, I need these people.
What is this? Death becomes her.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like, if you.
This is a screenplay. This whole book.
If you get fucked up, you're just dead, and now you're just going to be a rotting zombie corpse.
Yeah.
So keep around some of those pizza boys.
This is actually for you Mystery Science Theater fans, and I guess for you Michael Bay fans, this is basically the plot of.
Are there Michael Bay fans?
I know of one very big Michael Bay fan.
Oh well, that's good. Good for them.
So this is basically Clonus the Parts horror, or Parts the Clonus horror, which was a basically. About a bunch of guys, or about a place, a facility that harvested bodies for parts, but young bodies, they created them and kind of raised them and made them, they didn't, they never left the facility, but it was basically old body parts for. Body parts for old people to keep living.
For rich people,
For rich people, yeah. Like Peter Graves.
We're 3 weeks away from that.
Yeah, we're pretty much.
Yeah,
this is pretty much.
It's tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, if they want, I have a meaty breast.
A meaty breast.
That I haven't been keeping in shape. That you can have. If you want to wear that as a hat, I don't know.
I don't think that's how it works. I think that they're going to want to come get your healthy spleen. Or,
is it healthy?
I don't know. I don't really even know what a spleen
I've been through some shit.
I know you can live without a spleen.
I know, but I want to keep it.
I'm not saying you're giving it away.
I don't know. You're implying that this is going to be the thing where we're going to start. I mean, I don't think they're coming for us. They're coming for
they're coming for
Beaver spleen is in trouble.
Yeah, they're coming for people who are in really good shape.
Yeah,
and, a lot younger than us. Talk 18-year-olds, like track stars.
Yeah, we're talking all you memers.
Yeah, people.
All
who
you
eat
viners, kale. You viners better watch out for your body parts.
If you
guys.
eat nothing but kale and drink like green liquid constantly because it's like some sort of juice thing, they're coming for you. They're not coming for us old people.
Yeah, no, we're not.
We're too old.
Yeah, we don't have anything to worry about. Actually, we're doing real good. So yeah.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, so you got you young guys, just watch out.
Yeah. Beware.
So
anyway, that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to keep all these people.
So he's trying to keep all these people safe, and so people have been trying to come to his Crystal Palace and be like, "I'm going to get that stuff, and we're going to go and take you down because, fuck you, Savage."
Because it's wrong.
Because and it's wrong.
Also wrong. And John is like, well, maybe we shouldn't work together. Wait, what does he say here?
Well,
Savage is just like having a yell.
Yeah, he's like,
he's like, but you're not going to stop me because I'm going to kill these two idiots in this channel.
Well, during the show, he's like, look, I wouldn't, because I have to have like power and stuff to do all this stuff, and the reason I put this in the middle of nowhere because he's sort of like, why would you put this in the middle of Ohio?
Yeah.
And he's like, put this in the middle of nowhere because there's a super collider underneath it.
Yeah.
And it's an atom smash, and I'm gonna, your idiot boys are gonna get fried. And he's like, and then he goes into the whole scorpion and the frog
John's
thing.
like, would you? And he's like, well, let me tell you. Basically, this is the story of the scorpion and the frog. Too long didn't read version is when somebody tells you who they are, believe them.
Yeah.
I am a shithead, so you probably should have known that.
And I love this.
With me, so.
I love this. So there's like these panels, right? And then you got like shots of John, shots of Savage. John Savage, and then you just go to this idiot eating a sandwich.
The MIT guy with his lotto ticket sandwich. Do you think it's like a lotto ticket with like peanut butter smeared on it?
Yeah.
Is that like
that was the MIT special?
Do you remember that Metallica Behind the Music when they're like losers' lunch with bologna on hand?
Oh, this dude's had many losers' lunches. Him and Scott Ian are out there getting losers' lunch. Scott Ian calls this dude up when he rolls through the Ohio.
Yeah, this is loser's snack. It's peanut butter on lotto ticket.
More like loser's life. I do like this though because it's like John and Savage, and all of a sudden it's like this guy, and it's like the Californian sketch.
Yeah, it really is. And so he says something. Let's see.
He's like, I could do this,
John's
but I'm not gonna.
You need us. Killing runs contrary to your goal, and so he hands back his like.
I think Savage could probably do better, to be honest. Because
Yeah,
he's not gonna kill John.
No. So he like hands his like little kill switch back to MIT guy, and then these two
who's still eating the sandwich.
Who's still like this is.
It's always in his mouth too. Just put the sandwich down.
I don't think he chews. I think he's just sucking on it. Like it's just because it's been in his mouth for 3 pages. And he's just maybe he doesn't have any teeth. Maybe,
is he choking?
No, he's like gumming it. He's like,
he's having a gum.
Yeah, he's having a gum. He's like, if I get this really soggy, it'll just slide down my throat because chewing is too much effort. Like I think that's what's happening. It's really gross. And so anyway, so then we cut back to the Ray and Triumph, and they shoot out of like a grate in the middle of Cleveland. And
they're in the middle of Cleveland, and apparently there's a building in the middle of Cleveland that has some sort of
on it.
it's an hourglass. It's an hourglass because they even call it an hourglass later.
It's an 8.
Well, whatever. No, there's
I know it looks like an 8. So he's like, basically it's whoever Savage's enemy is, whoever's at the other end of the tunnel. Is basically his enemy, but I've got a hunch of who it is because there's a big hourglass on this building. So then...
Is it Our Man? Kronos?
Sure, Kronos. And
Kronos!
We cut back to the Crystal Palace, but now we're in the bathroom.
Okay, here's the question. The Crystal Palace has a bathroom that looks like an office building. Which, is that what we're supposed... Because it's a very, like...
I mean, they have a huge staff. Those people have to go to the bathroom somewhere.
I don't know. I'm surprised at how austere this bathroom looks.
It's very public restroom. It's a Target restroom.
It pretty much is.
That's exactly what it is. So it's all these stalls, and Gypsy's
There's a little sign on the door that says who cleans.
Yeah. And Gypsy's just sitting on the toilet, not like using it, but like sitting on top of the closed lid of the toilet.
She had one of the raised pizzas.
And she's just like, she's just having a sad think.
Told you she's only thinking about L. Ron Hubbard and
yeah, and if she should join Scientology or not, and like maybe that's where her parents are.
And then Tom
maybe
Cruise.
They're not dead. Maybe they're just like in Sea Org or whatever that thing is. And so like she's sad, and all of a sudden like the door opens and she hears somebody humming, and she's like, oh no, a man's voice. I got myself in the man's restroom. What the hell? But she looks to to the side and it says like sanitary disposal. And she's like, well, men don't need these. Which I've never seen a sign in a woman's restroom that says sanitary disposal. But there are like little trash cans. I'm assuming. I don't know if you guys.
It's obvious.
Have them,
I used to clean a woman's bathroom in a bowling alley.
All right.
And so I've seen.
Do you guys have little metal trash cans on the stalls of men's restrooms?
What in what? Wait,
like a
in general?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
No, there's no. Yeah, we're sans trash.
Oh yeah, no, they're in women's restrooms obviously for various reasons.
Yeah, we know we put them. We put the trash in the trash can.
Well, they are trash cans. They're just metal ones on the
big
side.
Ones.
On the side of each.
Yeah, no,
stall.
I know. You're right, but I'm saying, men don't. We don't have that luxury. Like, they just expect us just to put all trash.
You guys fucking have troughs sometimes. Like it's just like pee into this big.
Oh yeah, that's the thing where it's where
what is going on?
You get to all see your penises and stuff.
Just isn't that uncomfortable? You like walk
it is
in and it's
uncomfortable.
just
I don't
like
like
a big. I had a friend once who explained to me that there is an etiquette behind which urinal you use.
Oh, explain this to me.
So it's if you walk in and there's 3 urinals.
Yeah.
Okay. You take one on the end.
Oh yeah. No, you don't have. I mean,
no, hold on. There's a thing. So it's like you take the one on the end. So if anybody else comes in, they don't take the one in the middle. They take the other one on the end. Mm-hmm. And then if someone comes in, well, there's 2 of you, then they get the one in the middle. But it's weird if there's 3 and somebody comes to stand right beside you.
It is weird
because then it fucks up the man etiquette of like how.
Well, it's like dudes going to the movies, and they have to have the buffer seat.
The buffer seats are fucking stupid.
I know they are stupid. I used to when I was younger, I used to.
What, God forbid your leg touches another man?
Well, sometimes if you have to sit.
Are you worried if like your thighs brush up against?
Well, no, what it is. Sometimes you go with you go with somebody that doesn't know how to sit in a chair.
Oh, you mean who man spreads?
Yeah.
Who's just like, my balls are so wide, I have to basically do the splits to make sure they have. Like, if your balls are that wide, you should go to the doctor.
I've known a few man spreaders.
Yeah, but like excessive man spreaders.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, if they're that big, you should really go to the doctor.
Yeah, no, that's the thing.
You can't sit in like a chair next to another man without like, I don't know, worried your fragile masculinity might like.
Yeah, I know. It's
like. Turn into homosexuality. Like, I don't know how.
No, yeah, just get over it.
Just sit next to each other.
But I mean, when I was younger, that was one of those things where it's like I used to, when I used to go to movies a lot with my friends, they were man spreaders,
I'm just gonna imagine all of your friends doing the splits in a seat.
Yeah, I think because
they're just like cheerleaders doing their homework in the hall. Do you ever remember that? Did you guys have that?
Yeah, that was a thing.
That was a thing. Like it was always the cheerleaders, and they would like sit in the hallway doing their homework, but they would like do the splits and like put the homework in between their legs.
Oh no, I never saw the splits.
No, like there were a couple girls that would do that. Like they would always sit with like a very wide split and then like bend down pretty much and like put their face on the floor and do their homework, and I was like, that can't be comfortable.
Oh no, never seen that. I know a lot of those.
That was a thing.
Yeah, there was a thing back in the.
I guess it was just like, I'm so flexible. Look at.
Also, I think it was cooler if you sat outside on the ground. I think you looked cooler if you do that. There was a bunch of kids that would do that.
Oh, I always sat down. Like we always sat. Actually, because goth, we always sat in a corner.
Yeah.
On the floor.
Yeah, you were probably really cool.
No, we were just goths.
I think that's a sign that's a sign of revolution if you sit in the hallway.
It was the shadiest place we could find because we had to escape the Daystar.
Right. So anyways, so as she's sitting here,
she realizes she is not in a men's restroom. She is in a woman's restroom, and yet there's a dude in it.
Well, he comes in, so she's sitting there, and as
he just kicks the door open.
So it's the MIT guy.
Yeah, it's the MIT guy.
I don't know what the hell's going on here because the MIT guy goes from eating his sandwich to
which he finally finished. He's wearing a different shirt, by the way. He's not. No, it's like a white one now.
No, that's his leg.
Oh,
that's his leg, and it's his leg. Yeah,
and his hat also says MIT.
Yeah.
So he kicks open the door, and he's got like a gun. With like a huge silencer.
He's got a big fucking RoboCop gun.
And a scope on it. And He's only
What
trying
do you need the scope
I don't know. He's only trying to kill this woman. She's 2 feet in front of him. I don't know what you need a scope for, but she's like not. He kicks it open and she's not there, and he goes, "Nice try, babe," and he just like unloads into this bathroom.
Well, no, because she's there.
Well, she might not actually be there. But,
Well, she's camouflaged there.
right,
most
but
likely.
she might have,
or possibly. I don't know.
yeah. So she might not actually be in this particular stall, but we're led to believe that he's
Yeah.
shooting her.
So then we go to.
But we don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why.
It doesn't make any
Now I
sense
gotta read the
why
next
he's
book.
trying to kill her. So, because she's literally done nothing but sit in this bathroom
And mope.
and mope. So then we cut back to Cleveland. We're in an office where there's a bunch of people both smoking and eating donuts because this is the 90s.
Back in the 90s.
And they're like, "Oh, somebody just brushed by me, but I didn't see anybody." And they're like, whatever. And so then I didn't realize that like one of the is it the Ray's power?
The Ray can basically bend light so he can render you invisible.
Yeah. So they break into this office in the building with the hourglass /8 on it,
Yeah.
and they're trying to get into a desk. And they're like trying to get in there, and there's one drawer that's locked, and the Ray's like,
I do like the real quick. I do like the Ray being like, "Let's hit it and quit it." You know, he says nothing but '90s cliches.
yeah, he really does. He's a pizza guy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And so they're like trying to break into this desk, and the Ray's like, "Hey, don't open that drawer." And they're like, and Triumph's like, "Shut up, Ray." Like he's like, "No, really. Like everything else was open. This one's not. It's obviously booby trapped." And he's like, "You're full of shit, Ray." Blah blah blah.
And he's also at the same time the Ray's trying to kind of like maybe hypothesize that
they're being set up.
they're being not so much being set up, but he's also what if he's lame? What if he's just full of shit?
Yeah.
Because the Ray's skeptical. The Ray's not as skeptical as Triumph is.
Yeah.
So
And Triumph's like, "Shut up, Ray." Well, and then they blow the top off of this office.
then they explode
Like-
Cleveland.
They kill Cleveland. R.I.P. Cleveland.
R.I.P. Cleveland.
And
Sorry,
that's
Cleveland.
it. And that's the end of the book.
And the next issue, Inquisition.
Okay.
I also, so that's it for the book. We have a letters page.
Yeah. It's called Task.
I do actually, I was reading the next issue box here, and I like, it's very Seinfeld. If you read it as Seinfeld, it's kind of funny.
No, I didn't read it.
Because it's like, so what's the deal with Vandal Savage? Is he a megalomaniacal genius? I can't say that word.
No.
Hell-bent on destroying any hero that gets in his way? Or is he
Megalomaniacal.
megalomaniacal genius?
I had to remember KMFDM for that.
Hell-bent on destroying any hero that gets in his way? Or is he disillusioned fool? Well, it's like that, you know. Is he hopeful? Yeah, so whatever. Anyways, but I do like, so the title of the letters page is Taskmasters.
Yes.
And the little cartoon, little drawing they use is a picture, is John
Like pushing
stuck
back
in the frame, and he is holding back all the mail.
so much
Because there's so much mail being sent
So
for
much,
Justice League
guys.
Task Force.
all the mail.
All the mail. Everybody's writing letters because they're like, "Is Ray a pizza guy? Do men have tiny trash cans in their bathroom?" That's a question I would ask.
Well, you should answer that question.
I did.
Yeah, so there you go.
Oh, dude, I should have sent it in. Fuck, can I still do that?
Yes, I'm sure.
there an address?
Go ahead and write to the, what was it, 666 whatever DC Comics address used to be.
Avenue Americas. Okay, I
That's it.
got a letter to send.
They're not there anymore. But
Fuck.
you could go stand outside Burbank. That's where they are now.
I know the answer. I have an answer. It's like, who
They're
are you?
in issue 18 of Justice League Task Force from 1994.
I'm answering a 20-year-old question.
So that's the book.
That's it for Justice League Task Force 18 from December 1994. Would you read the next issue of this?
No.
Really?
No. I mean, maybe I would just see what happened to Gypsy to see if her face got blown off, but other than that, I don't care.
I have some answers or some questions for this, but I don't know if I want to like continue reading. I don't know. Maybe I will. This is another one of those books where I might get roped into wanting to collect it because there's not a lot of issues and it's just easy for me to find.
Yeah, maybe.
So,
That's exciting.
excuse me. Yeah, so I might be into that. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Most likely not. I got bigger fish to fry, like Guy Gardner.
Yes.
Which I did find one. I found one this weekend at the Bug, and my Defenders collection. I got to read all this stuff. I need to like actually read it.
Maybe you should do that after we're done here. You should sit down and start reading your pile.
But I have a mini Nintendo to criticize.
Could you do both? Could you play like a little Nintendo and then do some reading?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. Well, that's it for the book, and we'll come back with some correspondence.
Mr. Russell Bragg.
The DC Comics Presents Show.
DC Comics Presents Show.
The DC Comics Presents Show.
I guess the podcast is getting into the public's ear. Wish I could do more to promote the DC Comics Presents Show. Maybe it's time to do another promo. I'll do it right now. Interruptions, always interruptions. Hello. Yes, this is Russell Bragg. Yes, I host a DC Comics Presents show. How can I help you? Let me get this straight. You want to write a newspaper article on me and my show? Well, how can I help you? Well, let's see. The DC Comics Presents show is a podcast covering the DC Comics Presents comic book starring Superman. In it, Superman teams up with any number of characters in the DC Comics universe. I also have a few segments I've added. I do listener feedback. I have a segment called Russell's Comic Brag, where I brag about a comic that I recently picked up. I do a spotlight on Superman's guest. Every once in a while I have to do a hostess ad. And to round out the show, I go to the Comic Spinner Rack to see what other comics were on sale. Thanks for reminding me. I guess that would be important on how people can find the show. People can go to the show's main website at www.bragaboutcomics.com. They can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes or Stitcher.
Okay, we're back here on Worst Collection Ever, and let us read a few messages we got.
Yeah.
Regarding podcasts, our podcast. By the way, you can tweet at us you can tweet at me, Shawn, at Angry Hero Shawn, SHAWN. That's how you spell that. You can also find my Instagram, Angry Hero Shawn, and my Tumblr, theangryhero.tumblr.com. Mm-hmm. And what about you?
I'm at Jen Stansfield on Twitter and Instagram, jenstansfield.tumblr.com, and jenstansfield.wordpress.com.
And, of course, our email address, worstcollectionever@gmail.com.
Yay.
Please check in with our show. And
we read them.
We read them. We will read a few of them right now. Yeah. So we're very excited for that. But let me just go through this one tweet I did receive from our buddy Nick. Laneit. This Nick in Boston, I believe, or he's in Massachusetts. Laneit360, at Laneit360. He said, haha, quote, it's a floating island. Oh, that makes more sense. For some reason, that killed me. He's referring to last week when we...
Because we're funny.
We figured out what the hell we were doing.
We don't know what we're doing.
Talking about an island.
We still don't know what we're doing. So thank you.
Oh, I forgot to reference the Michael Bay thing. Is that Michael Bay, with the Clonus movie? That's basically the movie The Island with Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson.
Oh,
is basically
stupid movie.
Is basically a remake of the Clonus movie, or at least that's what the guy says that wrote it, and he's pretty accurate about it.
I remember that movie.
Yeah. So anyways, that's the connection. I just kind of left that hanging.
I forgot about that movie.
Yeah,
I forgot that I actually went to see that movie and walked into the wrong theater and ended up watching the last half hour.
Really?
Yes. Before realizing that I was in the wrong theater and then staying for the beginning of the next movie and going, wow, this movie's dumb, and leaving.
But let's get into our emails.
Yeah.
Our first email is from a listener, Brian, who I believe he's based out of... I'm going to say he's based out of Atlanta or in Georgia.
I'm guessing, yes.
Because it refers to...
He says Atlanta in his email.
Oh, he does? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to read that. Oh, that's right. Duh. Anyways, Brian emails us. He says, Jen and Shawn, thanks for the podcast. I listen every week and have my own long boxes of vintage terrible comics.
Yay.
Yeah. You and me, you and us both. We could put ours together and make a Voltron. Though I haven't watched wrestling since the 80s, I certainly followed it back as a kid then. I get a chuckle out of your digressions into wrestlers. Me too. And remember you talking about them owning all owning gyms or something after retiring. Yeah, usually it's gyms or real estate.
Right. Car dealership, I'm assuming?
Actually, a lot of them do car dealerships. Haku or Meng.
What is that?
He's a wrestler.
Oh, I thought you meant it was some like another thing they buy. I was like, what does that even mean?
No, Haku, the wrestler, or Mang, as you would know him from WCW, he went on to do car dealership stuff. There's been a few others. I'm trying to think. I want to say John Nord, the Barbarian, or the Berserker. He did a car dealership. There's the Briscoe Brothers, and their car detailing. So yeah, they get into cars too. And Goldberg likes cars. I know that much.
Good.
Anyways, living in Atlanta, I have had a few experiences with retired wrestlers. Lex Luger shopped at a liquor store where I worked in college, for instance.
Oh shit! What did he buy?
Lex Luger. Okay, look.
He bought all the booze.
Lex Luger. I don't want to get into sort of details.
We don't have to get into sort of details.
Lex Luger got into had a hard go, and now he's having a rough life.
Doing better.
He fell pretty hard after WCW shut down.
Yeah.
Diamond Dallas Page owns a studio down the street from my house, which
yoga studio.
Because
he does yoga for regular guys.
DDP yoga, which is awesome. DDP's great.
It's really weird to watch.
It is weird to watch.
It's weird to watch because like he's really, really energetic, which is I've watched yoga videos, not his on, but
you've watched them when I do them.
No, I've seen them when you do them, but I'm saying like I myself have done yoga in the past, and I usually find them on YouTube, and it's always very serene. It's usually just a very thin white woman, and she's just, all right, everybody, it's time for us to meet the day. And like some of the moves that he does, he's renamed them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, that's not whatever he calls them. That's cat and cow.
Well, he does that. He does that because it's
child's pose.
It's supposed to be
for dudes.
Yoga for regular guys. That's how it started.
Wait, you guys can't do child's pose. You have to do cool.
He's got to call it thing.
Is it cool down? It's
safety zone.
Safety zone. That's it.
Yeah, no,
it's child's pose.
He calls that. He calls all these things, and then it's actually my favorite thing about DDP yoga is like he's always kind of like
Hulk it out.
He's like Hulk it out, and I always want to be like when he's hulking out, it's like say something racist, Have too much pork, No, but when he's like
comment on the curtains,
comment on the just yell at your curtains. These are nice drapes. But he would always be like, bring out he'd be like, all right, we're gonna do some DDP yoga push-ups, and I'm gonna have so-and-so this Jane here come out and do this. Yeah, that's right, guys, girl's gonna teach you how to do push-ups.
You're okay.
It's like, get down there. Yeah, I mean, it's very like,
it's very strange.
It's very,
and he's so happy about it.
He's so happy to kind of be vaguely sexist. And the girl's just like, all right, I'm gonna. She doesn't say anything. She just does the push-ups.
Right, well,
it's like, that's right. A girl just showed you how to do it. Are you a man or a girl? I mean,
you're like, calm down, DDP.
Calm down, DDP.
Anyway, continue.
Keep saving. Just please continue saving Jake Roberts and Scott Hall's life, or doing whatever you got to do. But yeah. Anyways, these days I work in beverage alcohol wholesale and just took over a new account, a Shoney's, also known as Big Boy in other parts of the country. Now that I'm confused because I
just looked it up.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I just looked it up on Wikipedia, and Bob's Big Boy is also known as a Shoney's in other parts of the country.
So the Big Boy burgers around here?
Yeah, it says it started in Glendale.
And so they're basically Shoney's and...
Yeah, it's kind of like a Kroger, how like here Kroger's are Ralph's, but like in Colorado they're called King Soopers, and how in Boston they're called Shaw's. It's the same thing, they just have different names.
Oh man, this is exciting.
Weird.
I couldn't help but to notice a wall of wrestling paraphernalia photo attached, and had to ask why it was there. Apparently, the new owner is former wrestler Scott Steiner. I met him. I briefly met him. Did not ask what his brother Rick was doing, and he was cordial enough. Thought you might find it interesting. Brian.
Yes, and he did. He sent this picture, and it's like I think you said it was every picture of Scott Steiner that has ever been.
This is literally every picture of Scott Steiner that has ever been created. So if you don't know, if you aren't familiar with Scott Steiner, Scott Steiner, well, we touched about him briefly in our
It's kind of creepy, actually.
Well, it's memorabilia. I mean, it's his restaurant. I mean, shit, I would do the same thing.
I know. I mean, yeah, it's just they're just like sort of haphazardly put.
Is that
in
his
there.
TV belt?
I don't.
Like, is that a replica or is that?
I'm assuming it looks
very.
a replica.
It looks very small, though.
It's probably a replica.
I mean, he does have a replica of his W. You know, now I need to go here.
We'll have to go here so you can.
Now
go to
I need
the
to go.
Shoney's.
I need to go to I think it's in Ackworth, Georgia, because a couple of months, because when this first opened, there was a video of Scott and his brother Rick, the Steiner brothers.
Bulldozing.
They were like, we're gonna build a Shoney's.
So we're gonna bulldoze an old.
So we're gonna
Shoney's.
bulldoze an old Shoney's and create a new Shoney's. And Rick sat in the whole thing was like Scott got into the. Why am I blanking on what those things are called?
It's a backhoe.
A backhoe? No, it's something like a bulldozer, and Rick sat in the front of it, like in the actual scoop.
Yeah.
And then they crashed into the Shoney's, and the whole idea.
I remember they were like, "Oh, he's dead."
He's like dead, and it's like, "Hey, I'm hungry. Where do you want to go? Let's go eat at Shoney's." I was like, "You just destroyed a Shoney's." But they love They really love Shoney's.
Destroying a Shoney's to build a Shoney's in the same place is like what LA does when it rips down a house to build a new house in the same place.
Or when they build a 99-cent store on the corner
And put a sign 99-cent store across the street.
and put it on the across the street, and then keep the other 99-cent store around for a year afterward.
Ugh, fuck them, man. Thank God they're shutting that thing down. Yeah. Anyway, we have rage towards that 99-cent store.
Well, the parking specifically. The 99-cent store itself is great.
It's fine.
The parking is atrocious over here. Anyways, so we, but it's fascinating. And Brian, I will tell you what Rick is doing. Rick, I believe, is doing real estate in Georgia as well. I think both the Steiner brothers live in Georgia. Mm-hmm. I think, or maybe maybe Rick's settled up in Michigan, where they're originally from, and I believe he ran for some sort of local office or something like that.
Is this recent?
Yeah, not Rhino.
Oh, a Rhino
Rhino ran up in Michigan and he lost.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Right, yeah, Rhino from ECW. With a Y, Rhino with a Y, ran in ECW, but no, he ran in Michigan as well. But no, this Scott Steiner, I believe, did something. Maybe it was in Florida or not Florida.
Regardless, he is not in politics now.
I don't think nobody is. Maybe he's like a local office. Maybe he's like a local school board, kind of like my dad was. My dad used to be like the head of the school board. Yeah.
Your dad was involved.
My dad was involved. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's
participating.
Rick Steiner be doing Larry Merrick stuff. Anyways, thank you, Brian, for this email and
thank
this
you for the
picture.
This is great.
This is fantastic. And if you ever, I could bring up a ton of Steiner brother references, but if there's anything that you ever come across, any and all Scott Steiner experiences. Scott Steiner is a very interesting fellow. Any and all Scott Steiner experiences you want to share with us, please email us.
Or just in general, wrestling
experiences. If you could say, being in Atlanta, there's a lot of wrestlers in Atlanta. I know Sting had a gym down there. I mean, usually because that's where WCW was based out of.
Yes.
So a lot of them just kind of set up shop there. Like Raven lives in Atlanta. A lot of those guys are based out of Atlanta. So Disco Inferno, I believe, probably still lives there.
Is his name Disco Inferno?
Or maybe he lives in Vegas.
Is his name really Disco Inferno?
Well,
he has to live in Vegas. That's where people named Disco Inferno live.
That's true, yeah. No, that's right, yeah, because he was like a manager at a club or something. He gets mad at people if you recognize him as Disco Inferno. Because he doesn't, it's not.
But you were on TV as a wrestler named
Disco
Inferno.
But now he's just doing like a regular job because he can't keep work. He's not steadily working in wrestling or something. So.
Did he wear bell bottoms to the ring?
Oh yeah, you've seen Disco Inferno.
I have.
Yeah, I'll show them to you.
Great.
Yeah, he came around. He would dance disco, and he would, he would have like Saturday Night Fever on his trunks, and
that's
whatever.
That's something.
Yeah, he was a big. He was not a big star, but he was a pretty important part of WCW for pretty much his entire career. Like I
think I'm glad that we missed disco.
Huh? I don't know. It would have been weird.
I mean, we lived through grunge, but I think I'd rather have that.
I'd rather have grunge. I miss grunge.
Like grunge is so much. I do miss grunge. Mm-hmm. Can we do that again?
Yes.
Okay.
Next email is from. Well, I'm going to say his whole name, Russell Bragg.
Yes.
Our buddy, Russell Bragg, who has the show, the DC Comics Presents show.
Yeah.
and he is a fan of ours, and he's got a fine show that he just talks about DC Comics Presents.
Yeah, and he has actual facts.
And actual facts, and he
Facts, and he does research, unlike us on this show. So if you want to actually know something about a comic, you could listen to his show.
Yeah, he actually takes the time
He'll tell
to
you
look stuff up
things.
and not just shout
And not
about
just
it
be like, I don't know,
and
this
kind of
fucking
hope that
pizza
somebody
man,
tells you
man.
about it. I am gonna look that up now. Actually,
We're just using alternate facts on this show. Kill me. Anyway, so Russell sent us an email.
Russell
Thank you,
says,
Russell.
"Hello, Jen and Sean and Jen, or is it Jen? Or sorry, hello, Sean and Jen, or is it Jen and Sean?
It does not matter.
I don't know. We gotta figure that out.
I don't think it matters.
I usually put your name first because I'm already
Alphabetical?
No, I just put your name first just because I've had the more wrestling or more notoriety in the world, so I figured it's your time to shine.
Oh, well, thanks.
And
man.
I just put you.
I just always thought you were just doing it alphabetically.
No, I do because I love you.
Oh, thanks, babe.
First off, I want to thank you for plugging my show, the DC Comics Presents show. I'm on hiatus. I'm sorry. You're welcome.
No, yeah.
I'm on hiatus right now, but I'll get back very soon with DC Comics Presents number 68, where Superman teams up with Vixen.
Oh,
we do have that.
We do have that issue. Yes, we do.
Yeah, and this is back when she looked very different. I didn't realize she had that different outfit when she first started. I always thought she looked like she's always did.
No, it's kind of like a blue thing. And
her outfit changed pretty quickly, it seems.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed your comic very much. I've never been much for Submariner.
yeah, that was last
Who
week's.
is? Yeah,
no,
last week-
I don't think there are. There have to be Submariner fans,
Oh, there is. No,
but
there
I
is,
feel like
but-
I've never really met.
I mean,
one.
obviously he's been around forever, so obviously somebody likes him.
Maybe people just tolerate him.
Yeah, well, he's kind of a sausage. I definitely prefer Aquaman over Namor in terms of aquatic superheroes.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, most people do, and and you're not wrong, because Aquaman's kind of a better dude in some ways.
yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. I wonder if they've ever teamed up or battled. Well, they definitely did. If you go back to the Marvel versus DC or DC versus Marvel series,
Yeah,
right before the amalgam.
Oh yeah.
That's the whole story. If you
Yeah.
go back to that, and I could spoil it for you, but they do battle. Yeah.
I'm gonna assume Aquaman wins.
Should I confirm or deny that?
I don't. If you know the answer,
Well, I do.
confirm.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. I'm not going to tell you how though.
You don't have to tell me how.
Yeah. So Russell,
There's
you should.
nobody being like, "Oh, don't give me spoilers for that 20-year-old comic."
I don't know. Maybe Russell wants to read it.
I'm sure he does, but I'm sure you can find out on Wikipedia.
Well, Russell will do his research because he's very
I
good
know.
at that.
I'm not saying he won't.
You could easily do it, but so I'll let you discover that because
All right.
if you were not aware of that, now Russell, now you are, and you can check that out. I don't have it yet, but your comic is in a trade that I hope to get soon. The Essential Supervillain Team Up. Oh man,
That's awesome.
yeah. If it's in digital, I might be on that at some point. It has all the Supervillain Team Up comics and a few other titles mixed in. I think it will be a great addition to my comic book collection. I really can't think of anything else to write, so I'll close for now. Hopefully, I'll come up with some comics that I'd like to hear. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Russell. I'm not reading correctly. Hopefully, I could come up with some comics I'd like to hear you do the next time I write. Keep up the great work. Russell Bragg, host of the DC Comics Present show. Again, check out and rate and subscribe his show and give him some love. He's got a great show talking about DC Comics Presents.
And that trade sounds cool.
And it does sound cool.
It does. I think I'd probably read that.
And I do look forward to him bringing some suggestions. I think
absolutely.
Because I am open to that, and you are too. So Jen, now it's your turn.
Yeah, so we have another email. It's from Nick, our buddy Nick.
Nick from, where's he from? He's not Nick.
Comic Reflections.
At Comic Reflections.
Yes. And he says, "Hi, Jen and Sean. Really enjoyed the latest show. Thank you very much for including a promo spot for Comic Reflections. Well, you are welcome. Thank you for sending it to us. We actually covered Supervillain Team Up number 3 on episode number 218. So if you want to hear their take on it, please go over and download that. Here's the deal with Betty Dean. So Betty Dean was the lady who got fridged at the very, very beginning of that last issue. In the 1940s Submariner comics, Betty was Namor's love interest. Fast forward to the 1970s.
He loved sausages in the morning.
Right? Because as we determined last week, she is the daughter of Jimmy Dean.
Yeah,
And
she has a last name.
Yeah.
Anybody who has a last name is a relative of somebody famous. That's how I live my. That's how I believe things.
Are you so? But your name is spelled differently than the Elephant Man guy. It's just pronounced Merrick.
Yeah, that's the same thing. If it was the same,
If it was the same
if it
spelling.
was the same spelling, you would have every right to believe that I am related to John Merrick, the Elephant Man. That would be fine. But it is not. He spells it with 2 R's and an E and an I-C-K.
That's like people always say, are you related to Lisa Stanfield?
No, you're not.
No, her last name is Stanfield.
Yeah.
And mine is Stance with an S.
Stance.
Which people have asked me if I've spelled incorrectly. And no, I have not. Fast forward to the 1970s. Betty was turned into one of Dr. Hydro's amphibian hydromen before being killed in Supervillain Team Up number 2.
Well, it sucks for her.
Yeah. So I wonder if she ever came
Being
back.
turned into a frogman at the last moment in her life, and then she's been...
And now she's dead. So thank you, Nick. That is fantastic.
Yeah,
and definitely check out his podcast if you want to hear somebody else talk about that issue. Probably do a much better job than we did. That is
I gotta check this
Comic
out now.
Reflections number 218.
Yeah, I gotta check this out. I'm really curious to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, totally. And then we also
Let me say something about Nick.
no shit.
Nick knows shit. Well, all of everybody else knows more than we do.
Oh my god, of course.
But Nick is one of these guys who he does this show, and or anytime I will post like a picture or something, like I'll post something like recent. I feel like this happens quite a bit often with him. He'll because he's at prom cakes.
Yeah.
On Instagram.
Yes.
And
at Comic Reflection on Twitter.
yeah, and he'll tweet it, and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, we covered this," and I'm like, "Dude, you're catching all this stuff, man." Like he's like I don't know where he's located, but he's whatever he is. He's that state's version of us.
Yeah, except he's much smarter.
And he's much smarter.
Yeah. So our last email is from Shane, also at Dawn of Comics on Twitter.
Is that his Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Because this comes from Dawn of Comics.
Yeah, Don. He's contacted us before.
Yes.
But it's good to hear from him.
It says, "Hey guys, first up, thanks for the laughs each episode. Each week I look forward to your podcast to help me get through my workday. More than once you've reviewed a comic that I myself have in my collection that I actually thought was a pretty decent collection, so thanks for smashing that delusion." Sorry. I'm certain your comics are probably like very well cared for. We get these out of dollar boxes. Sometimes they smell. We've had ones that smell. So I'm assuming yours are nice. Ours are not. Have you, fine folk, thought about giving away the issues that you read each week to listeners as prizes? You could probably sign them for us. It'd be a great treat. If I were to win one week, I would also be happy to pay the postage so you're not out of pocket. Just a thought. Keep up the giggles, Shane.
Well, thank you, Shane.
Thank you, Shane. You know, we've never really thought about that before. Maybe if we ever do a purge again to like get rid of some of the crap we have hanging around.
I mean,
here,
to be honest,
it might be something we would
look.
do.
To be perfectly honest, I have a bag full of comics sitting out that I have been ready to give away because I don't want to keep them anymore.
I don't know if they're ones we've done on the show though.
Yeah, but it's still a part of our collection, and you can. If I met you in person, I would just hand it to you. I mean,
Pretty much.
the problem is with mailing, and I appreciate that, Shane, and we'll consider this.
Yeah, maybe
at
one
some
of these
point.
days. Like maybe one of these we'll do it. But
If there's more of a
as
demand-
of right now, we haven't thought about
If
it.
there's more of a demand, if more people are listening to our show, and they're like, "Man, I really would love to own some of these books that you don't like and don't want to own,"
It's not that we don't like them.
because I do like some of them.
Oh, I definitely like some.
I'm a big fan. I'm gonna keep this just to
I
test
know
for us.
you are.
But if there's a big demand of it, then I would consider it. The problem with mailing stuff is it takes for me to have the at least for me, this is for me. I don't know how this is for you, but for me, like the motivation to be like, I'm gonna go and mail this and make sure it happens is very like. I have to be in the right kind of mood to do it.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
Like I've had stuff from my job, working at Sideshow, where it's like, "Hey, Shawn, can you mail this to me?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, I'll do it." And
you
I
have
just,
a mail room.
but it was, well, at least for the last year, I didn't.
Oh, that's true. You're at the club.
I had to like figure that out, and it's like that's the thing. It's like I have to figure. I was like, "Oh, I gotta find an envelope. Oh, I gotta find a stamp. Oh, there's enough stamps."
I think it's a much bigger deal to you than it is to me. Mailing things to me is not a big deal.
Well,
But I would say that, maybe it's one of those things that we have always talked about. I really think we should start a Kickstarter to fund a documentary of us just going across the country, going to comic book stores.
Yeah.
And if we ever do that, maybe one comic book, like if you donate to a certain tier, you get one of the comic books we read on the show.
No,
or in addition to whatever else.
I'll give.
I don't really know how
The more you
Kickstarter
pay,
works.
the more expensive the thing you get from our house.
Somebody gets our cat. We're like, here you go. I just put him in a box.
I stop at living, breathing things, but you know.
I don't know. Sometimes I want to send them to people. Especially this morning, he was being a dick.
I have a Keurig. I'll give you. I can always find a new one.
Here's a used Keurig. Somebody gets a mop. We're like, here you go. You get your stuff out of our house.
You know, maybe if this mini Nintendo gets boring, maybe I'll give that away.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Maybe, but you know, I don't really know how Kickstarter works. I know you have to like give people things for.
Well, you do. You have to actually follow through with that.
Yeah. So maybe if we ever decide to do that, that could be something that we include in our tiers.
Well,
because I'm serious about this. We should one day do this.
Yeah.
I'd love to go just drive across the country.
Yeah, no,
and,
maybe we'll
look for comics at comic book stores.
And maybe we'll stop at Cleveland.
Yeah, you know, it would be kind of a pain in the ass trying to get people to agree to let us film their comic book store.
I don't think they would mind.
You know, we're from Worst Collection Ever. Can we come look at your comic books?
Maybe we'll make our collection better.
We can't be called Best Collection
It would just
Ever.
be, you know what the documentary would just be me being like, there's a lot of Alpha Flight in these boxes. And then eventually I start out here on the West Coast. I try to find all the Alpha Flights. And then eventually I get to Maine and I'm like, I found the last Alpha Flight I need. There you go. That's the tension along the way.
Is that the tension?
That's how it is.
It's not just watching us trying to survive in a fucking car together.
We've done that.
I know we have. No, we're fine with it. We did. We drove all the way across country before.
A few times, yeah.
Yeah, with a cat once.
Yeah, we're hip.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for this week's show. I think.
Oh, and thank you for everybody who sent us correspondence.
Yes, thank you. worstcollectionever@gmail.com or hit us up on Twitter. We would love to hear from you. So thanks for listening, folks, and we will see you again next time.
Bye.